Hello, and I am very excited to have someone very special and a beautiful guest with us today. And today we will be having Stephanie. Stephanie is a global citizen. She has a background in nutritional science and Shiatsu therapy. She's an inspirator, a mentor, an author, a content creator, and a free spirit of the sovereignty movement. I'm so excited to have Stephanie with us today. Stephanie, how are you?
Thank you, Samir, and so glad and thank you for having me here. I'm good, actually, and I'm so excited to hopefully share some value with your community, and I'm looking forward for our conversation.
Fantastic. So, Stephanie, tell me, how did your journey begin into this beautiful world of wellness? And you are so many other, wearing caps and into so many other fields, but this one just resonates so well because we have been talking for a while, and I wanted you to share your unique journey. So, tell me how it started.
Thank you. Well, how it started. I was a teenager. I studied nutritional science and consumer economics. Why? Just felt drawn to it. I did.
Stephanie, I wanted to ask, with us having these communications for so long, and I was so excited to have you. And just tell me about your journey. How did it all start? What made you come into this field? And then having a background in nutrition, it just, goes so well together. So tell me about it.
Mm. Thank you so much for asking. Yeah, how did everything started? It was just I was a normal kid growing up in a normal family, would say, with a mindset of, well, go to school, get a job, and then everything is working out well. That's how it used to be. And I just felt like there is more, but I couldn't express it because I was doing the things. So I went to school. I was even a foreign exchange student. So I did have that sparkle within me. I need to see more. So it was in grade 11 where I took a year off. And well, I didn't take it off. I spent it in the United States as a foreign exchange student. And yeah, and then I just came back and I felt like, well, there is more, but how could it look like? I have always been drawn to health and well-being because I come from a family where my mother is a nurse, my aunt, and we did have, and we still have a very close relationship. She was a midwife. So there was always this connection. So I decided to study nutritional science and consumer economics and then just go on. Yeah, I just started and didn't know what's coming up next. I was always very intuitive and just see where the world is actually guiding me to. Where it was actually guiding me to, it was another move after my studies because I met the dad of my two kids. So I'm also a mom. I wear that hat. I'm a mom of two lovely teenagers in the
Wonderful.
meantime, almost, yeah, young men. And I do, and you're a mom as well, and I'm sure you agree.
It's
These little
crazy.
these little creatures are like the greatest teachers that you can have. And I've learned so much. So yes, I went to university, I did my studies, you've mentioned, I became a Shiatsu massage therapist, but there was so much more into it. So just to make a long story short, so yes, health and well-being has been one of my passion, but when my first son was born, I was in that spirit of how can I just be the best mom and how can I just care for him the best way? And I always knew that regular medicine will not cover everything because they are perfect as they come to this world, and I don't need to treat them with regular medicine. So there's the system is still working well. So I was studying, I was reading, and of course, I was listening, was gathering information. And so that led me into this more holistic view on how to see a person, how to see us as humans in this beautiful, holistic way. And that led me, as I already mentioned, to Shiatsu therapy. This is some people think, well, what are you doing? Is that kind of
Yes,
a
tell us.
sport? No, it's actually it's a massage practice, and we're working on meridians with pressure through our fingers, through our hands, our knees, and it's like a whole body experience. It usually comes from the traditional Chinese medicine. So yeah, so that was my first experience, also more in this energetical part. So
Mhm.
yes, there's energies. Yeah, everything is energy. We are energy. Every word is an energy, and energy can neither be created nor destroyed. That's how Einstein is actually saying that it can only be transformed. So all this entered into my space. So, and at the end, to make this long story even shorter, and for me, that's where the passion actually came up. When I realized we have so much potential within us. And when
Mhm.
we see our body as the vessel to transmute the energy, if everything is energy, we transmute the energy and then also experiences, or then when we also experience how our world is actually situated, we're facing a lot of toxicity in our world. We are facing a lot of stress in our everyday life. So that is actually blocking and sabotaging our body to work properly and to transmute this energy. So,
Absolutely.
and that's like a major problem. So my focus over the past years has been really focusing on detoxifying our body and yeah, getting the bad stuff out and then adding the new stuff in, the good stuff, the nutrition. Yes, we need nutrition, and I'm sure a lot of your viewers and listeners may also have this experience. While there is a deficiency on certain vitamins, minerals, or whatever, some are too much, but getting everything back in harmony. And I'm sure, and that's what I believe, there is this inner wisdom that our body is carrying that it can regenerate if we just let go. So first let go of the stuff that is not favoring us, and then adding the new stuff back in, the good stuff.
Beautiful. You know, something that really compelled me to dive deeper in discussion with you, most importantly, Stephanie, was that now there's a lot of awareness, and people from the standard pharmaceutical industries and the medication that is literally being pushed down to our throats in a way, like, where, like you said, the first sentence of your opening, that our body has the natural way of healing by itself. And and you know and it makes so much sense. Like, our brain is a pharmacy of curing any issue we have, and especially with the body pains and everything, and so many bunch of steroids is just going to temporarily numb the pain. But the field that you are in, and you have specialized in, and you're a practitioner, how far is it true that you can cure your body aches and pains, and rather than the painkillers, if we treat it organically, I could say, from
Mhm.
your techniques, how much effective and long term is it?
Well, I don't want to bash against, it's good that we have the medicine that there is, because there are reasons that we need them in some ways. So I'm sure if there are accidents, whatever, it is good that we have the medical system that there is at this to this point. But still, as you said, our body is a pharmacy itself, and it has this capacity to regenerate. And I'm convinced that this is. And I see a symptom. It's also always just a symptom. And it's like an antenna or this red light, like, okay, I
Right.
need your attention, please. Yeah, if there is a headache or if there is a stomach pain, it's like the red light, hey, please, I need your attention right now. And then the normal way, oftentimes, or how it's used to be, or how it is handled in this current situation. And many times it's like, okay, you have this symptom. Well, how I can treat the symptom? Yeah, how I can, what kind of medicine or what can I actually do? But who is actually asking the question, why is this occurring? Why is there a headache coming up? Because it's actually telling us something. Or why is the stomach pain coming up? Yes, did I eat something wrong? Yes. Or is my nervous system just out of balance, for example? And we all have a backpack. Yeah, and as I said in one of my first sentences when I introduced my kids, they're like they're so pure and clean when they come up. Actually, they're not. Just to be honest, of course, they are pure and clean, but also through pregnancy, they will receive a lot of toxicity from from the mother's body as well.
Yeah, which is inevitable because like I was reading somewhere, it's so different and difficult to keep having nutritious input, like, you know, whatever we are eating, right? The soil is not as healthy anymore, and then the plants that are grown are like maybe from our comparing it to our parents' time, and similarly the animals or the protein that we're getting is not so fertile or full of nutrients that it was before. And there's a degeneration going on.
Yeah.
And the best way to go for it is to ensure that you can reduce it. You cannot eliminate it because it's just kind of like everywhere.
Be aware of it. And yeah, as I said, limit it, but then also provide your body because there are substances out there that you can support your body to get rid of it again if you have this awareness. But you mentioned, and I love this comparison that you just brought up, and it is the soil. That's how it all starts, or it is kind of a starting point. It still comes together, but it's some kind of a starting point because when it started when they figured out, wow, they're fertilizers. Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, everything can grow faster and we can get bigger tomatoes or whatever. But what was it doing? The fertilizer. Yes, it made a tomato red. It worked, but it actually weakens the plant. So then they need herbicides and pesticides because it was attracting a lot of bugs. And also the plant was not able to produce its natural medicine to keep the weed away. So using the fertilizer, and it started in the 60s and the 70s. Yeah, it was called the Green Revolution. It was a revolution of fertilizers. But then it actually weakened the plant. And this was a vicious circle. But the fruits and the vegetables, that's our nutrition. We consume it. And so
Yes.
this vicious cycle just went over, and it weakened also us as humans because the nutrition that we received was not as nutritious anymore, or the food that we ate was not as nutritious anymore. And when it's not as nutritious and we use drugs, that's the cure. Use the drugs. They will cause side effects. You will need more drugs. And so we are in this vicious circle. And I think as the consciousness is rising and the awareness is rising, we need to break through that. And it is possible to create this awareness in having like podcasts like yours, Samira, yeah, to bring awareness out into the people, and that we have this ability, but it requires trust, and it
Yeah.
requires um, also inner strength to say, I can do that. It is all
Yeah.
okay. I'm safe. So it is, to a degree, just to come back to your question, is our body, or what does it take? Yes, it does take awareness and use as much or as nutrition that is not contaminated a lot. So yes, organic is still the best way. Even organic cannot be fully organic because
Exactly.
it's grown in this world, and we have it like everywhere. It's also the air that we breathe, the water that we drink, and but then step by step, making conscious choices. Also
Yes.
moving our body again more. That is so important. Yeah, that we breathe, that we take moments to balance, that we sleep, that we get the right sleep again. So there are so many points to start for every single person.
Yes,
It's all
absolutely.
connected as well.
I'm enjoying this so much, Stephanie, and I wanted to ask you, like, with doing all of this work and research and having clients with different problems and everything, and do you find yourself a different person now, a newer version of yourself than when we were starting out, and then as you dig deeper, you understand, with having a holistic understanding of all that we have studied, and then seeing it on patients, how do you do things differently, mentally, physically? Like, do you think it has helped you evolve as a more uh, complete person?
I'm far away from being complete, but yes, it definitely did. And especially the last 5 years, but already the 18 years before as being a mom and then evolving and going through all those steps. But the last 5 years have been very transformational in its own way, in its own unique way. Because what I also mentioned already a little bit earlier when we were talking, not thinking of the symptoms, but looking at, well, what was causing it? What is the cause? So go to the root cause of an issue. And when I work with clients as well, this is a symptom is a symptom. And you can have even two people which are labeled with the same diagnosis, with the same symptom. They will go on a totally different healing path because
Absolutely.
they have such a different backpack, because the cause, and also having two people with different. Now I'm making a jump and I
Yes,
did not continue the word,
I'm
but
with you.
but it was even if you have two people with two different symptoms, but looking at the cause, it could still be the same. So in my work that I'm doing is, for me, is the detoxifying process one of the first. It's a foundational process. And this is not a cure that in my eyes, because it is a process. It is a process of releasing a lot that was just put in our backpack for a very long time. But of course, still being in that space, in that, yeah,
Yeah.
on that planet. So, and it's a process of discovery, because it's layer by layer. Because a detoxifying process for me contains a physical, it contains emotional detox, and it just puts layer away from the mental side, from the emotional side, from the spiritual side. So to make, as you said it, to make us humans more complete. And a lot of the time, it's just creating that awareness, because sometimes yes, it is a physical process, but you have to realize, you have to cultivate, or yeah,
Yes, absolutely. You
yeah,
have
the
to.
new me.
Yeah. I want to, Stephanie, like, I know this is a bit like just jumping to a new question, but as you being a nutritionist, for women over 30 or 40, what are the most essential vitamins or minerals that they should take? I mean, I know they have to do their vitals, and they have to, like, of
Mhm.
course, unique, blood tie, everything. And what is it that they should make sure that they are taking to have longevity and health, fitness with menopause? What
Mhm.
are good vitamins that?
I mean, we need a broad, I mean, um, we are lacking in nutrition in so many different ways, especially, of course, women in the end of the 20s, 30s. Of course, iron is always important. It has
Yeah.
always been. In these days, what's also important, and that goes for a long period of time, also when it comes to longevity, are the omegas. Yeah, omega-3, omega-6,
Yeah.
all that's like those fatty acids, very, very important. What I also see is the vitamin D, vitamin C, the B vitamins. So actually you can put it all together. But
Mm.
for me, it's always important not to use um, just while there's a pharmacy and I just get a vitamin because it's on the box that's called vitamin C. It is this complex, yeah, because they interact, they work, they communicate. How are they absorbed? How are they transported within the body? It doesn't, in my eyes, it does not require every time like high dosages all the time, because if your body is clean and clear, if the cells are able to absorb it in a good way, and if the transport mechanism into the cells are just good, yeah, and also if the cellular membrane, then it doesn't always require. I was raised that way. Well, if you just eat much, you get plenty, but um, that's what we see. Yeah, a lot of kitchens are full with nutrition, with
Mm-hmm.
tons of vitamins and minerals. But so many people still lack on nutrition or on vitamins and minerals. So that's why I see it. It's in the first place comes the detoxifying progress. Then in the next phase, of course, looking for a good gut health. That is
Yeah.
important. The
Yes.
microbiome is working because our gut is also our second brain, or some people even refer to it as a first brain. And then making sure that our nervous system is regulated. That's for me very important. So it's also important to have good dopamine levels, good serotonin levels. And
Right. I'm really admiring the way, you're looking so youthful and well maintained. Do you have a strict fitness regime that you go for a physical workout like 2, 3 times a week? Is it like, I mean, I'm looking at a perfect, plan of the day. Are there some things that you make sure to incorporate in your schedule?
I'm working on that. That's my honest question. So my honest answer, I'm working on that because finding the right routine for me at the moment is still a bit challenging because I'm a global citizen. So I'm actually a world traveler. So I love to travel. Um, Right now, I'm sitting here in the north of Cyprus. So that's where we have a home space, but we just travel around the world. I'm a
Beautiful.
digital nomad.
That's amazing. That is one thing that I would just love to do.
It is so enriching. You should do that because you see so many places, you get so many insights, and just being in different cultures and different spaces, just experience different energies in different places. So yeah, highly recommend that. But it's not for everyone.
Tell
So
me
yeah,
about your writing. Oh, sorry,
mm,
carry on.
yeah,
I
that makes a little bit challenging for me to really incorporate deep routines, but I love writing in the morning, and I think you wanted to say that. So I have my morning pages that I'm going through, just waking up, having my morning pages, writing, just clean my head, getting some creative thoughts, writing my goals down. That is a very big part for me, and incorporating, yeah, a big vision, because that's something that I realized over the past years as well. It is this visioneering experience that people kind of lost. Yeah, when you have little kids, they build sand castles and huge, they just,
I know
and we lost that ability, or we just
the
buried.
imagination is
Yes,
now
the
so,
imagination is
yes.
so important, and we need that in order to just create, to have this inventor, this creative. soul and being that we are, and to lift that up. And that comes in a body where, which is kind of pure and in life,
Mm.
yeah, and full of life. And this this imaginary, well, there's the pineal gland, and then I don't know how much time. That's just a just
I
so
really
powerful as
feeling
well.
inspired.
Pardon me?
I I I am feeling so inspired by this interview, Stephanie, because number one, many times we tend to put our needs in the end. And then, there are so many things on our bucket list that we don't prioritize. And I mean, taking care and fulfilling so many different roles, demands our attention and leaves us
So
feeling a
true.
little bit bitter in the end, which actually, uh, diffuses our motivation, our inner, abundant mindset. And this is what I'm very scared of, when people go into a bit of, not depression, but into anxiety, or because it all has to do with not listening to your body. And what advice do you want to give to, the listeners, hearing us right now, the best way to manage ourselves to the best potential?
I'm so glad you brought this up, because it's just to wrap this together. It's true. Put yourself in the first place. I know we have so many hats to carry oftentimes, and so many hats to wear. There are the kids, there is the work that we're doing. Maybe there is an elderly family member we need to take care of. We have our own desires, but we can only be as good to someone else as we are to ourselves. And yes, I'm on a way to learn it the hard way as well. So um, please do yourself the favor and take care of yourself, and on all planes, on the physical side, because your body is the instrument with what you will create your life. And as I said, getting rid of the stuff that is not longer necessary, especially the toxification, because it will get back your intuition. It will actually create more creativity. Yeah, open the space also and create the space to be creative. And it may require some time to
Absolutely.
actually spark that again. So patience and
What about manifesting? Like, do you think that you can actually manifest what you put your mind towards, and can attract all the abundance that you wish to receive automatically without you chasing?
I'm sure it is possible. Yes, because it's all energy. Yeah, everything that has been created started in a thought. So, and this is also an energy. So, yes, manifestation is having the vision of something compared with an action, of course. While you cannot sit on the couch and just dream of something, that will be a little bit challenging. But there are actions required. But this action may not necessarily have to be as hard as we always think, because sometimes it's just having the vision of something and the right person comes into your space, or all of a sudden just the right idea comes into your space, where I maybe have to go somewhere, whatever. Yeah, it's not necessarily this way of working hard and more, adding on more stuff. So yes, it is having this vision, doing the right action to the right time. That is important, but also the emotion is important, that you do it from the right space,
Yes.
because and that is so crucial as well. So it is a combination of, yes, a visionary and being that person, and then doing these things, and then you're going to have it. So I see it from the space: be, do, and have.
Mm. My God, that was so profound. It resonates, and it's just making so much. I'm just valuing all that you are sharing with us, Stephanie. Tell me, how do clients, like, how do they reach you? How do you work with them? What is your way? And and you are all over traveling the place. I'm just feeling so inspired by you. I can't wait to have you plan a trip to Dubai, and do something and collaborate. Uh, Absolutely in person with you. So, how can the clients get in touch with you, and what is it that you do? Like, what are the prerequisites that you see before you accept a client for their? What kind of issues do they usually come up with? And yes.
People come with different issues. Usually they are health related or life related. Well, life related in terms of overwhelm or frustration, maybe some depression, burnout feelings. So that's a space where people come to me, or when they have a physical issue in certain ways. What am I do you how you can reach me? Just go to my website, Stephanie minus Christ or Stephanie-Christine.com, and just send me a message. So that is the best way
Do you
to
have,
reach me.
like, does it take, like, usually if someone comes with, a knee pain, or, and also,
Mhm.
like, they're a bit not in their, uh, 100%, they're feeling themselves, like, how long is the process? Like, how many sessions do they require? I know everyone is unique, but just in
Mhm.
general, so people who are listening to you and who are interested to get in touch with you can get an idea.
Well, every person is differently. Yeah, every person is unique. And I believe most of the time people are able, they just need an inspiration. Yeah, they just need someone to just guide them. I'm not able to heal that because a person is able to heal it themselves. But yes, as you're totally right, it just needs the right um, pointing the finger or point
The direction,
where to
yeah.
start, the correction. So I would just do, or at the beginning, we're gonna take inventory. Yeah, take an inventory. The inventory is also important to see the process because, as you mentioned, or just put the example in the space, there is a knee pain. A person comes with a knee pain. If we wouldn't take the inventory and just focus on knee pain, well, maybe that person wouldn't see any changes within 4, 6, 8 weeks or even longer. But if we take inventory, that means we also look at how is your sleep? How is your energy level? Yeah, how is your skin? Depending if it's male or female, of course. How is your cycle going? Why is that so important? Because the body is actually, it has so much wisdom. And if we give them a little
Stimulus.
support,
Yeah.
stimulation, exactly, and a little bit support, it will know where to go to first because it knows where it's the most important part to start with. It might not be the knee pain at the moment, but the person may see, oh, but my energy level is so much better. I sleep better and I feel so more relaxed and calm. So this is something we all pointed where we will sketch this out so that he has a whole map to see.
That,
And
sorry, do you think that intermittent fasting can help with healing some body pains?
I do believe that it's possible. It may not be possible for everyone.
Mm,
But in general, it is always good to have a time during the day of not eating
mhm.
because every time that we eat, we put information into our system and then our body is working all the time when we just continue or when we continuously put food into our body. So it's more busy with digestion. So, but if
Beautiful.
we give it the time to relax and just to put the attention to a different place, yes, of course. So at least over a longer period at night. Some people do have challenges, especially during the morning time. Yeah, when you have like this 16 to 8 hour cycle, but
Mhm.
but it is definitely good to have a longer period of time not eating, especially when you before you go to bed.
Wow. And we were also just talking on the topic where you when you deal with the client that has knee pain, and then you can actually go to understanding the background that actually helps with the body itself trying to heal, right?
Yes. I also partner, so we also look at, of course, nutritional supplements. That is a big part of it as well. I do collaborate here with a company to provide also good nutritional supplements, a good nutritional support. But of course, we want to look what is having that person in his kitchen cabinet already.
And how about the pressure points, like, when massage is done, or when, those particular specialist points are, kind of maneuvered. I'm sure it has a huge hand in towards healing.
It does. I mean, I personally do not work one-on-one here in one space since my work life or my yeah, the way I'm working and traveling does not allow anymore to have a private practice. So far it's everything online. But it
Okay.
does. Of course, we can talk through and give some advice because there is more to it what a person can do it himself or herself.
Absolutely. So whoever would be interested to connect with you for, uh, you know, for sessions, the best way to do is to go onto the website. We're going to have those in the captions, and also they can connect with you on Instagram. And so I'm going to be putting all those links, and I can't wait, Stephanie, because I think you are personifying the new, uh, like 2025, I think, is a year of holistic, organic, going back to the roots, theme everyone is going towards. And they have tried and tested taking, the medications and everything. But like you said, now it's the time to trace back and understand the symptoms and where it's coming from. And that is where you can make that entire change.
Absolutely. And then, of course, getting the trust back. It's like, I can do that because we are so trained to look to the outside, look for the solution outside, but the solution is most of the time inside.
Beautiful. Are you coming up with a book?
It's not planned yet, but
Because
actually you inspire me.
I really think that this is what I want to lean towards, to be honest. Because the reason for my podcast is also just getting the knowledge and the information, and having a team, having like a community, like you said, a safe space. Like, I trust, I acknowledge and embrace like what's coming from your side, because it has been inferred after a lot of research, personal experience, going through practice, and everything. So I just think that we need more people like you to bring that understanding and information among the people. How is traveling coming along for you? Because I'm sure you have so many interesting stories. And
Traveling is fine. Actually, we are leaving in about 3 days
okay,
off again.
wow, where are you going now?
Our next trip is going to be Antarctica.
Wonderful, wonderful. So far, what has been one of your top three destinations?
Um, I'm sure Antarctica is going to be one of my favorites. So just seeing whale watching and the penguins, I'm really looking forward for that. I love going westwards.
Mhm.
United States, for me, just touring road trips. That's what I bring, an amazing landscape, all those national parks. That's something I really admire and I love. And next one is Mexico. So
Oh,
over the period of 2020, 21, we spent quite some time in Mexico. And I love the food. I love the nature. And that's something. I've been to Dubai. Well,
mhm.
Dubai is a city, but very interesting. It has, well, this, you have this big city and just the sand, the desert on the outside. So, and I'm also looking forward to see Bali. I mean, I've been to Australia. Australia is also an amazing, it's very unique and it has an interesting atmosphere. And I think
Very
there's
healthy,
hmm?
Australia. I mean, I think they have a very healthy approach towards life.
The indigenous people, yes.
Mm.
And but also, of course, the rest of the population. But yeah,
Mm.
it's more Western culture as well. So all
Bali, I absolutely love Bali. So I just I'm so excited. Please, I think we're gonna have a conversation another time about where to go. Next time I'm going to be asking you to share your best spots to hang out. I can't wait to put this podcast out for the listeners to enjoy and revel in because you shared, Stephanie, such amazing, golden nuggets on such beautiful topic. And I'm so grateful. I want to thank you so much for doing this interview.
Thank you so much, Samiras. Thank you so much for just being such a beautiful host and yes, taking us on this journey together. And thank you to all the listeners for just joining us till here.
Amazing. So, all right, Stephanie, I will see you in the next, podcast, recording, interview, and most importantly, I want to see you in person.
It will happen.
Yeah, and and I can't wait to put something amazing together once you're here. So thank you once more, and we're going to be coming to you again on perhaps another specific topic that we might have a panel discussion and with one other guest and you, and then we're going to dive deep into the next topic. So thank you so much, and yeah, I looking forward to connecting very soon.
Thank you, Samira.
Thank
Bye.
you. All right. Bye. Bye. Thank you, everyone.